Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and this is going to be another movie review for you guys. Now, this movie I'm going to be reviewing, I wasn't planning on watching. I really wasn't. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, I decided to watch this movie. I wanted to watch it a while ago, actually. Remember when I watched Nightcrawler and John Wick and those movies? That's when I wanted to watch this movie. For whatever reason, I kept slacking off and putting this movie off. I don't know why. I just kept saying I'll watch it at some point. But I decided I'd finally watch it. I was originally going to watch Men, Women, and Children, but I didn't want to watch that. I wanted to watch this movie. I don't know why, but I decided to. I started this movie like 2 o'clock in the morning, really. That's how dedicated I am. I watched like 2 episodes of Shameless, because as you guys know, I'm binging Shameless. I'm on season 2, episode 1, but then I finally watched this movie, and that movie I'm going to be reviewing is Fury. Now, Fury was a movie that I honestly was not really looking forward to seeing. I wasn't. I mean, to me, it just looked like they were trying to be the next Saving Private Ryan. It looked like they were just trying to do a new version of that movie. It looked kind of cheap to me. It didn't really look like anything that special. And I mean, I didn't really see any trailers or anything for this movie. However, I started to hear very good reviews of this movie. And especially after the whole Sony hack thing with this movie being leaked online, it definitely made me want to see this movie, and I finally checked it out. I'm so happy I saw this movie, because Fury, surprisingly, is an amazing movie. It is probably the best war drama I have seen since Saving Private Ryan. It really is that good. I was totally into this movie the entire time, and it honestly might be one of the best movies of the year. It really is that good. But let's get to the plot of Fury. Basically, the plot of Fury is Fury takes place, in April 1945, I believe. Yeah, April 1945. And the Allies are making their final push in the European theater. And there's this very hardened soldier. You know, you can definitely see that the war has done a lot to this guy. Brad Pitt plays the sergeant named War Daddy. He commands the Sherman tank called Fury and his 5-man crew on a deadly mission behind enemy lines. And in the beginning of the movie, a bunch of them are shot. You know, a bunch of the crew are shot. And Logan Lerman's character comes in to basically replace those people. But you can see that there are a lot of things that he's not okay with doing. He's not as experienced as War Daddy is. He's not as experienced as any of the crew is. So basically, War Daddy decides to recruit Norman. You know, that's his character. His name is Norman. He actually is, what is he? He actually is a army typist. He's an enlisted army typist, which is, you know, basically that's what he is. He basically is recruited by him, and the two of them sort of bond a little bit, basically so War Daddy can show him how serious war is, and, you know, how to be prepared for that kind of stuff, and that's basically a plot of Fury. And I think that's a fantastic plot. I definitely really enjoy that. I definitely really, really enjoy that plot. I think it's a fantastic plot, and there are a lot of things I think this movie does very, very well. First of all, let me get to the thing that I like the most about this movie. The thing that I think this movie does the best. I mean, there are so many things this movie does correctly, and I'm so happy with some of the things this movie does. And I didn't know if the movie was going to do this. The thing that I love about this movie the most, and the thing that I loved the second I watched it, I honestly, this is what I realized about this movie. It portrays war as that, just war. It portrays war as a very serious thing. It doesn't portray war as, oh, we have to make some big blockbuster movie with tons of action, with tons of, like, Michael Bay action. No, that's not what this movie portrays as. This movie portrays war as a very serious thing. It really shows how serious it is, how much damage it causes. It really shows a lot of that stuff. In the beginning battle really reminds me of the beginning battle of Saving Private Ryan. The only difference is there is background music. In Saving Private Ryan, there wasn't, but this movie there is. And is the action as extensive as that? Yeah, it is. It's pretty crazy action. I mean, there's tons of people being killed, and they really portray it as a great thing, and I love that the movie does that, because in your war movie, I don't like a lot of war movies, okay? I'm not a huge fan of them, really, but this movie really portrayed it as a great thing, and I think that's fantastic. I definitely really love that this movie portrayed it that way. And I'm very happy that they did that, because that's something a movie needs to do, is portray war as a very serious thing. But let's get to the acting in this movie. First of all, the acting in this movie is surprisingly fantastic. I thought all the acting was very, very good. And let's get to our main star here. Our main star here is Brad Pitt as War Daddy, and his character is so good. You can clearly see the war has affected him a lot. Not a lot of things he's really uncomfortable with doing. He knows how to command people. He knows how to fight in a war. Like, he knows how to do all that stuff. And I thought his character was very well done because that definitely, and I definitely really enjoyed, how his character was. You could see he totally hates, the Nazis and everything. He's a Nazi hunter pretty much. And I thought it, we even find out that he greatly despises the Waffen SS, the other ship, when he harasses the injured captive SS officer. So I thought that was definitely an interesting thing that we found out about his character. And we really go in depth with his character a lot, and I definitely really enjoyed that. I thought he definitely did a very good job. However, the star of this movie, the person that I think gave the best performance, is Logan Lerman as Norman Ellison, who is, of course, as I said, the private that comes in. What I love about his character is he is basically the everyman of this movie. He is what we are all thinking when we think of war. There are certain things he's not comfortable with doing, and he's still not comfortable with doing after. There's a scene where he's literally forced to shoot the enemy, and he doesn't want to do it. He just doesn't feel he doesn't feel comfortable doing it. There's something that he doesn't feel right with about it, and you can see that he doesn't want to, and the transformation of him in this movie is just so well done. The chemistry between him and Brad Pitt are so well done. Probably my favorite part of the movie, honestly, was their bonding. I thought they really did a great job, and that's really what made the movie so good for me, is their bonding. And, just because, well, actually, my favorite part of this movie is the realistic sequences, but still, their bonding was so well done. I definitely really enjoyed that, and I thought Logan Lerman just did an amazing job in this movie. Was it as good as Perks of Being a Wallflower? No, it was not as good as a performance as that. I think his performance, Perks of Being a Wallflower, will always be his best performance, but this is probably his second best performance, and it's the best performance I've seen him do since then, because I don't think he's really had a good movie since then, but I still thought he did a very good job in this. Shia LaBeouf, I know you quit acting, I know because of the whole raping thing and everything happened to you, but he was actually very good in this. I thought Shia LaBeouf did a really good job. Nothing amazing, but he still did a very good job. Michael Pena was very good. He actually had some of the more comedic moments. I thought he did a very good job. And there are two characters I briefly want to talk about, because they are the only women in this movie. Maurice Serena as Irma and Alicia von Rydberg as Emma. A lot of people say they slow down the movie, but I personally feel like it's very realistically done. I mean, there's not always, when you're in a war, there's not always battles going on. There are breaks in between, and this movie shows that. Think about Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan perfectly shows that. What this movie does is it just does things a little bit differently. It doesn't want to be exactly like Saving Private Ryan, which I like. It's not just a modern day remake of Saving Private Ryan. I mean, it's not just the exact same movie. It's very different than that. And I like the movie does that. There are similarities that it has, definitely, especially between, War Daddy and Norman, but besides that, there really are barely any differences. But I thought those two characters are really good. I briefly want to talk about them because people say they slow down the movie, but I thought they were well done. I mean, their scene kind of slowed down the movie, but I really didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was fine. I was into the movie the whole time, so I definitely really enjoyed that. The directing by David Ayer was fantastic. I know he has not made many good movies, and I thought he did a very good job with this, definitely. The tone he was trying to set was perfect. It sort of was just trying to tell us, how serious sport is, and he directed that perfectly, and I thought his directing was great. Screenplay was great as well. I definitely really enjoyed that. Now, there is one thing Saving Private Ryan does this movie doesn't. It doesn't really show the future, what happened in the future. And I think it's because this movie is not as emotional as that, but it is still very emotional. I definitely really enjoy that. And that's due in part to the cinematography in this movie, which is breathtaking. The cinematography to this movie is amazing to look at. I think the cinematography is absolutely fantastic. I love the cinematography to death. I just thought it was breathtaking cinematography. I looked at cinematography and I was just like, wow, it's that good. It really is that good cinematography. It's cinematography where you look at it and you're just like, wow, this is amazing cinematography. And it makes you so immersed into the movie. And I myself was very immersed. And I was surprised by how immersed I really was. But the cinematography really makes you so immersed, especially in the battle sequences. Cinematography is best in battle sequences. And honestly, this movie should be nominated for best cinematography at the Oscars. It really does deserve it. It is that good. It is loud, and I'm just gonna warn, this movie is very, very loud. I mean, it's the perfect movie that if you want to watch a very loud movie, watch it. This is in no way a fun movie, okay? If you want to watch a fun movie, go watch, like, X-Men Days of Future Past or something. Go watch something like that. This is not a fun movie. This is a very serious movie, and I like the movie portrays it that way. It does have some funny moments with Michael Penn. I mean, he does crack a few jokes sometimes, but other than that, it's a very serious movie. The editing I thought was fine. It didn't really drag on for me. I expected the movie to drag on a little bit, but it really didn't drag on very much at all, and I think that definitely is very good that it didn't drag on. And I definitely really enjoyed that about Fury. Now, let me talk about the other things I love that this movie really does. And as I said, it does portray war perfectly. But let me talk about why I think the battle sequences are so well done in this movie. Again, the battle sequences, a lot of people said they don't really feel for the characters, but in my opinion, the movie gets you to. Even if you don't feel emotionally attached to the characters, you're still emotionally attached to them, because in my opinion, I pictured war as what if I was in that war. That's what I think of in this movie. I think of what if I was in that battle? What if I was part of these soldiers? What if I worked with them? I would probably be pretty, sad about it. Obviously, I would be very affected by it. So the movie really makes you feel that way, and I think that's very well done that the movie makes you feel that way, because it's supposed to. And when you start to see people getting killed left and right, like the movie does towards the end, I don't want to spoil who gets killed, but there are a lot of people that get killed that you don't see coming. I'm going to say that right now. There are tons of people that are killed, and most of the people that are in this movie obviously die, but you don't really see that coming. And I like that there's one death that actually you don't know. You assume that they're dead, but you don't actually know, and I like the movie does that, because that happens in war. People die left and right to the point where you wouldn't actually know who died. And I think that's well done, because, I mean, there are plenty of people that are probably MIA, and they still probably are MIA. We don't know what happened to them. Look up any war, like World War I, World War II, look up any of those kind of wars. You will see that there are people that went missing in action, and we have no idea what's happened to them since then. So I think the movie portrayed that very well as well. And it's emotional, it didn't really make me cry, but it still is very emotional. There are some scenes that are very hard to watch. I'd say the beginning battle and the ending battle, very hard to watch. Every battle is fantastic, though, in this movie. There are about 3 big battles in this movie, and they all were handled perfectly, and I think they were all handled very, very well, in my opinion, and I really enjoyed all of them, and they were just fantastic, and that's really what I love about Fury. That's really what made this movie for me. That's really what made me so into this movie, and I was surprised by how much I was into it, but I really was into it, and that's why I love Fury. And it honestly is one of the best movies of the year, surprisingly, but it really is. But that's basically my review of Fury. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And my next video, you guys are going to be a little bit surprised about. They already released the season finales for The Affair and Homeland Online. So I'm actually going to review, I think, The Affair. I'm going to watch The Affair first, then watch Homeland. And then whatever recap comes up first, I'll watch it that way. But still, I want to do that because I want to watch The Affair first and then watch Homeland because I want to watch The Affair more. So I'm not going to watch either of them live, but what I'll do is I will wait for the recaps to come out, but they will... The Affair, I think I'm going to recap myself, but Homeland, we'll see what happens there, but I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be my review for the season finale of The Affair. So I'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.